Hello, I wanted to give an owner's perspective, well, the first 100 miles perspective of the new Z-H2. I can tell you, I've had some experience with some really fast motorcycles. I've had Hayabusas, and I had a CBR 1100XX, which, you know, at the time was really fast. ZZR 1200. I had a KTM Duke 1290. I've had a few really fast motorcycles, and this is not those bikes. This is one of those bikes and then some. It's really surprising. It's smooth. The engine makes quite a bit of noise because of the supercharger, and it's more of a gear lash noise, I guess, when it's idling. You can't really hear the supercharger too much while you're going. I've got a helmet and earplugs, but it's ridiculously fast. I mean, when it comes on boost, and I know this probably goes without saying, it's a supercharged motorcycle, but it's this thing makes powers really low, and it just squirts. I mean, it's gone. My Ninja 1000, I've probably touched it a little over 100 a few times. This thing, if you're not paying attention, it's 120, 130, and it's still pulling. I mean, it's nuts. And that's without even, going full throttle. That's just mild throttle well, not too mild throttle applications, but not, nothing crazy. The suspension is much more taut than the Ninja 1000. Of course, it's got the big piston forks, and it's got a 55 series rear tire, which personally, I like 190 50s. The 50 series tire is a little bit better. I think it just suits my riding style a little more. This one feels like it's going to go over and keep going, but they're new tires, everything's new, and I'm still getting used to the bike. But this thing is crazy. I really, I had worked up in my head how fast I thought it was going to be, and it's faster than that. It's considerably faster than that. I know that the H2SX, I think, this is according to Brock Davidson's dyno, made somewhere around 168 rear wheel horsepower, and I think this one was like right under 185. So it's lighter. I think it's a little bit shorter. I mean, the traction control and all the electronic nannies do a good job of reeling it in, and you can really tell they're holding the bike back in first and second and probably part of third. But once you get up into the upper speeds, you crank on it in third or fourth, and it feels faster than it does in first and second. It just builds so much momentum, and it builds so much speed so quickly. I know a lot of the magazine testers are always talking about how mental it is, but I've only seen magazine testers who have tested the bike at the Kawasaki event, so I take what they say with a grain of salt. But very good looking bike. I know the looks are a little polarizing. I like it. Everything kind of pops. The frame is kind of like a matte candy green. It pops in the light. The radiator is it's a big radiator. I guess it is what it is. The headlights work pretty well. The wind protection on it is actually pretty good. I feel like it's probably pretty close to my Ninja 1000 for wind protection. A little more wind gets to the feet, but that's actually nice in the summer. The brakes are really good. They're Brembo monoblock. I wouldn't say that they're, at least in the riding I've done so far, any better than what comes on the Ninja 1000. They're pretty good. I may, once they get bedded in a lot better, I may change my view on that. But otherwise, what a freaking crazy bike. I don't. I'm still trying to wrap my head around the fact that it's this stinking fast. I've had a bunch of Z1000s, and I've had a Z900, and this feels like a Hayabusa plus 50%. I realize it's not as fast as those bikes. It's probably 30 or 40 miles per hour slower, but getting there, holy mackerel. So ride safe. I'll see you around.